Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all my wonderful and beautiful little lovelies out there. And how I love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delish. And that life is treating you most deliciously. And I hope that wherever you are, the weather is beautiful, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious. We've been having a lot of rain, my delicious little babies. So what's the time, Mr. Wolf? So it is now, I should imagine, 11:57 a.m. In our older England, my delicious little babies, on this 21st of August 2026. Okay, and I hope that we're feeling the love. We continue to feel the love, my little honey bunnies. Now then, I'm not advertising any videos today. Well, really, to be fair, hardly nobody ever watches my videos anyway. So, not to worry, not to worry. Okay, but I want to talk about something now. I was talking to one of my beautiful, dear little well, I've got a beautiful, dear little neighbour and friend next door, and I've got a beautiful, dear little friend and neighbour just up the road. And anyway, I showed them, what I had received. That doesn't mean no. I showed them what I had received the other day, my delicious babies. I mean, it is partly funny, my delicious babies, but the other part isn't. I actually feel that anybody who sends messages to somebody like that, I actually happen to feel that they have severe mental health issues. That is my thoughts, my delicious babies, because I cannot see how somebody would like to live their lives the way some do. Okay, because I did receive, I don't know what was happening that day, I received another message, and these clearly live in a completely different world and on a different planet to myself. Okay, but what I was also discussing this morning, my delicious babies, was to do with this, and I'll tell you who brought it up, because you see, well, anyway, we always have lots of all of us. We always have, and my beautiful dear little friend Cash. We always have like lots of different convers. You know what I mean? My delicious babies about all different topics and subjects. But the conversation came up, and to do with this. What's it called? This choking business. Now, the thing is, Martin Spags, I do want to talk, there we are, I do want to talk about this matter. Because when you go back decades ago, I mean, you'd have like couples who they got together, they were loving towards one another. Well, I mean, I say that for most of them, they were. Of course, as in with any relationship, occasionally, I should imagine you're going to get, you know, some couples where maybe one is rather abusive to the other, maybe they're abusive to each other, but anyway, and some can go the distance, and very sadly others cannot. uh, so that's really nothing new. Okay, but there does happen to be in later years, unless you're into all this dark side business, which it does appear that there are quite a lot who are mad babies, it appears. This choking business. So why would you want to choke somebody who you love in the middle of a rumble in the jungle? Swinging from the old chandeliers, my delicious babies. Why would somebody want to do that? Uh, because I know that if it was myself, my delicious babies, I'm telling you straight, I would. I will not tell you everything on the camera, my delicious babies. You know what I mean? Otherwise, YouTube is not a liking, you know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is, my delicious babies, is that, we'll put it this way, I would never see whoever it is the same way again. Okay, my delicious babies, this is all bonkers. And so I was having a conversation this morning, my delicious babies, and I turned around and I said, the thing is, I said, when we look at our beautiful elders, how we love them also, and all our dear loved ones who have, very sadly passed away because, as we very well know, they should not have done. Okay, my babies, and I hope that each and every one of them rest in peace. They would be turning mad babies to see this nasty and horrible and putrid business. To strangle somebody. I mean, what is all that about? So you cannot just have a normal, what I regard as a normal rumble in the jungle, without feeling the need to send somebody unconscious. Well, I cannot really see how somebody would really get much enjoyment out of that. Certainly not the man or woman involved in it. You know what I mean? Who's receiving, on the receiving end of it. It's sickening. I mean, where is all of this coming from? It's to me, they're mentally deranged. There we are. They really are mentally deranged, and I'm not sorry to say that. There is something seriously wrong. They are not all the cups in a cupboard. The lift certainly does not go up to the top floor, and I am not liking it one bit. You wouldn't see myself going to a relationship with a man who wants to flipping strangle me whilst having a rumble in the jungle. Like I said, anyway, I'm not going to say anything more about that. But, this is a very serious thing now, my delicious babies. I mean, I bet you, if we was to, do some sort of survey, to do with these little hospitals now, to see how many come in. Because I should imagine that some will have some very severe, from, being strangled, very severe marks and all this sort of thing now then. I bet you, there we are, there's quite a few cases like that. No, I was listening, my delicious little babies, just while I'm on my video, because I'm going to be very shortly over and out. Well, I was listening to our lovely Not In That Way, Not In That Way, our lovely trending on Iconic, with our dear Jamie, Not In That Way, Not In That Way with anyone, and he was talking about, there was this young man and young woman who'd gone on a date. Forgot where it was. It's somewhere in London. Oh, I don't know now. I've got to try and remember. Anyway, my delicious babies. And the point of the matter is, well, apparently this young woman got raped. And who she was on a date with, well, he was having to witness it, but he couldn't do anything about it. If this is true, if it is true, what I would question is where there was stargazing and where was it that this took place, embarking something. I was just questioning. I'm not saying that it has not happened. I'm just saying that there was a couple of things now then that I thought, very, what they said, stargazing, and then it just seemed... Anyway, it's not, dear Jamie, bless him, okay, he just gives out the information, okay, because, of course, they are professional, what they do. Our lovely dear David Ark and his lovely dear sons and their lovely dear friend Richard and dear Gareth and dear Jamie. But, well, we're in a bonkers world. And then, of course, ones are going to be taught according to, so it's trending on Iconic on YouTube. My delicious babies, they're now up to 15.4 thousand subscribers, bless them. I really enjoy listening to my little videos, my delicious babies, all my little regular ones that I listen to. I really enjoy it, okay? I do get a laugh, I'm listening for the second time to our lovely David Icke and dear Guy Anderson on Sean Atwood, 1.12 million subscribers on YouTube, my delicious babies, you know what I mean? I'm listening to it for the second time and watching it for the second time, you know what I mean? I just really enjoy listening, and I don't half get a good laugh. I'm not laughing at, you know what I mean? I'm laughing with, do you understand what I'm saying? Because some of the things now then, dear David, he's flipping hilarious, It does make me laugh, to my heart, it makes me laugh. I just think he's so funny, not in that way, not in that way, but he's got a really banging sense of humour. I do feel that dear Gareth and dear Jamie, um, are just so, I feel very truly blessed to have a dear dad like that. I never feel envious, I never feel jealous, but I feel that they're so blessed to have their dear dad like that. Really, really is. Do you know what I mean? Okay, because he's really up with it. Do you know what I mean? You'd never ever think in a million years that he's 74 or something. Never. You know what I mean? He's got such a banging personality. You know what I mean? Okay, and he gets it. Well, of course he does, because he's the one who taught her how many millions. Do you know what I mean? Mads Lishtuk babies, and bless dear David out for that. You know. But yeah, they're all lovely to listen to. Not in that way, not in that way. But so I mean, and what was he talking about, dear Jamie? On there trending on Iconic this morning on YouTube. Ones are going to be taught. Is it these migrants or whoever it is? Not to rape. Have you ever heard anything like this, Martin babies? To teach ones not to rape. Come on, they should bloody well damn well know, shouldn't they, Martin babies? I'm not shouting at you, you know that. They should damn well know, isn't it? You do not go up to somebody and, whatever they do and just go and just do that out in the street or, well, anywhere for that matter. But this is, very sadly, this is the mental world that we're living in now, delicious babies, where you have to teach ones not to rape. Come on. They're big men, they should know, they're grown men, they're adults, they should know not to do it. They should know right from wrong. Okay, some come from different countries, they have a completely different way of life to what we have, Martin babies, okay? But the fact of the matter is, even if they go and do it in their own country, the fact of the matter is, Martin babies, they know right from wrong. Simple thing. So they shouldn't have to be taught. So, and what's this going to involve? More ka-ching, ching, 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 ching. To teach these not to rape. Damn rank, man. I mean, I have a better solution. Bang them out the country. I don't mean, physically like that. Bloody damn well get rid of them. So that they never bloody well come back again. That is how you deal with the problem. And anyway, for most of them, they shouldn't be here anyway, but the fact of the matter is they're being used like everybody else. And of course, some of them will know this and others of them won't, but you will find for the majority, I would have said, of the migrants, they just want to get their head down, just do work, find work, and that's it. So I would say you have, whether ones agree or disagree with myself is neither here nor there. So that's not being disrespectful to anybody. But the fact of the matter is you'll have a small amount who seem to believe and feel, there we are, that they're entitled to do what the damn hell, whatever they like, when they do not. So I wouldn't even waste ka-ching on this matter. Just bang them out the country, bloody get rid of them. There we are, simple thing. If you know somebody's done something, bloody well deport them. Don't leave them just to walk around in society, being a damn well menace to society. Our country, this country has changed so much, Martin babies, and of course, poor other countries have changed as well. Bless them as well. Bless us and bless them. But we all know who's caused this, don't we? There we are, Martin babies. We all know who's causing these problems. You know what I mean, Martin babies? Yes. So no, I mean, if that did happen to that dear poor woman, on her date with her boyfriend, I'm very sorry to hear that. If that is what has happened, I'm extremely sorry to hear that. But I totally agreed with dear Jamie, but it's common sense, ding, ding, dong, dong. I mean, if this is what has happened, that poor woman's never going to be the same again, is she? Being at the hands of ones, and I have seen videos, Martin babies, where you are getting these odd ones who are just going up to young lasses now, young women, like 18, 19 years of age, and they're just, what did I see on the video the other day? It's only a little clip where he said he has needs. This is a foreign man. So you could hear, I think it was, where was this? It's the one I've seen. Was it in Germany? And she was telling him, I mean, she was filming it, but she was telling him. But he says, let me touch you, I have needs. Who the damn well hell does he think he is now? Who does he think he is? You know what I mean? If you want somebody to touch you, whether it be your hair or whether to even shake your hand, it is up to yourself to say to whoever it is, okay, if they do not want to shake your hand, if you do not want to shake somebody's hand, as an example, then you do not shake the hand, simple thing. But just to go up to a young woman, bless her, and demand to touch her because he said he has needs, that's damn effing rank, man. He should have been kicked out of the damn country. There we are, straight away. And of course, we feel sorry for these ones who flipping end up shacking up with them or bloody getting married to these type of man now. And it's not just migrants, Martin babies. I mean, come on. You can have, any nationality who behaves. I'm not talking about everybody. Of course I'm not. I'm saying there are a small amount in each different country who behave that way. Only a very small amount, okay? But how have they been allowed to be brought up that way in the first place? Do you know what I mean? They should be brought up to respect, shouldn't they? To respect. And they do not. So what makes them more special than anybody else? That they feel that they're entitled to go around and do this nasty business? Well, they're not entitled to do it, are they? Should have just been booted out of the country. There we are. And just be done with it. And the ones who just want to get their head down, they just want to go to work, let them, as far as I'm concerned, let them be. Because, come on, let's be fair now. For a lot who are coming over, I mean, come on. They're either getting lost in the system, they're coming over, and then they're getting lost in the system, aren't they? So they wander out, don't they? So nobody knows where they are. For some of them. You know what I mean, Martelischlik babies? But for most, they just want to get on with things. And like I was just about to say, the chances of getting them to go back to their home country is between slim and effing none. You got Bob Hope and no effing hope. Do you see what I mean? But if if the old Bill knows for certain 160% that somebody has committed a crime like that, no matter what nationality they are, if they know for a fact that they've done that, they should not be walking out in society. Simple thing. It's common sense. Because they are a danger to society. Okay? It's like when I was talking about the dungeons yesterday. Okay. Sorry, excuse me. If ones want to live on the dark side, and that's how they want to live, then fine. But the problem that you've got, okay, if they're with others who are like-minded, sorry, I just needed to slip that in. Because there are some out there, aren't they, who are into this kind of business. But it could go further, which is what I was saying. And that's why I felt the need to say it yesterday to warn others. It's like the fishing. I specifically asked the question. I said, was you doing this because you were fishing? And your man there, not in that way, very clearly, he actually said yes. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but that is like, even though he said he wouldn't do, but the fact is that is still classed as like a predator. Isn't it mad, baby? So you have to be honest and get real. So somebody's willingly and knowingly sending messages, sending photographs of dungeons. Well, they're knowingly doing it, aren't they? And in the message, it's like rather domineering. Do you see what I mean? It's like they're trying to pretend that they're asking, but they're not asking, they're telling. Well, I do not class that as somebody, in my view, who I would wish to associate with or speak to. But the only reason why I did it, there we are, is because I've never ever spoke to somebody like this before, and I just wanted to reel it in a bit so I could find out. Do you know what I mean? Okay, to speak to somebody, because, there's not many who I know who have flipping dungeons. You know what I mean? Mad delicious stick babies, but you can never say never. It's a very old-fashioned saying that is, decades old. You see what I mean? You've got to be careful. I mean, he did say to me on the call, he would never do anything like that. No, and I'm pretty sure that he meant what he said on the dog and bone at the time. But as I said to him, I said, but the fact is, I said, you can never say never. He said, no, he says, you are right in the way I was explaining it. But personally speaking, if somebody's got a very dark side like that, I really feel that there we are, they need to address that dark side. And the same applies to these menaces. I mean, it wasn't so long ago, was it, Mardelistic babies, when ones were, how many years ago was that? Was that a few years ago now? Where ones were sitting like in shopping centres or at parks and things like this, and then they were filming up women's skirts when they were walking past. Well, that's a violation of somebody's privacy, isn't it? Who's got the right to be filming and get the dog and bone and be filming up somebody's skirt? I mean, you would never have heard of this, decades ago. This is why I truly believe, mad little babies, there we are, that the world has gone completely effing mad. It's upside down, backwards, and around the bend. And the way it is at the moment, mad little babies, it's like a flipping roller coaster, isn't it? I mean, all of these different things that are happening, it's like it's speeding up, isn't it? You've been on a roller coaster, haven't you, mad little baby? I've been on flipping countless times. I'm not so sure I'd go on one now because I don't fancy. I like to keep myself in one piece. You know what I mean, mad little babies. You certainly cannot trust, especially with these, fairgrounds, or the larger ones or the smaller ones. You know what I mean? If like parts are going to flipping fly off or whatever's going to happen, you know what I mean? But as anyone knows, it starts off slow, doesn't it? Then it gets bloody faster and faster. Well, that's, there we are, what's going on now. You know what I mean? But, it's like a book, isn't it? There's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's surely going to be an effing end, isn't it? There we are. You know what I mean? But one should be able to walk around freely, and they should also be able to walk around and feel safe when they're out and about, or if they're in the home or wherever they are. They should feel safety. They shouldn't be afraid to walk out. This is not the world that we're supposed to be living in, my delicious babies, you know what I mean? But anyone who's not, especially if they do not come from our country, and I say the same thing if they have gone to other countries, If they are not abiding by the rules, bloody well deport them. There we are. Just get rid of them. Deport them, never to return again. There's no excuse. This can be done, Mardalishlik babies, but we go back to this again. Who exactly is running our country? Because as far as I'm concerned, Mardalishlik babies, and from where I'm sitting, from what I can see, we are a lawless country. That is genuinely what I believe. It's lawless. Because things are just not getting done, are they? One's, carrying on and acting in whatever manner. Not everybody, as I said before, because for most, they just want to get on with things. You know what I mean? And they're in the same boat. They've been, it's all part of trafficking, isn't it? So they've been trafficked as well. So that, so they're going through the shart as well. There we are. For most, they are going through it. But if you know, like I said, 160% that somebody has done wrong and they come from a different country, get them out the country, pack their bags, and they're on the flipping way. Never to return again. Simple thing. This is how it happens, but it's not. And it's not happening for a reason, because it has been designed this way to cause, there we are, as much friction, to cause as many problems, there we are, as possible. And I do not believe that our country or any other country, myself, should bloody well put up with this shit. None of our countries should. If ones are coming from war-torn countries and it's genuine to the heart and it's war-torn, then nobody have a problem, isn't it? You know what I mean? If you can help, or whether it's our country, any other country, if you can help them genuinely, because they're coming from a war zone. But this is not what we're seeing, Mardalishlik babies. This is not what we're seeing at all. So for most of them, they are not coming from a war-torn country. Okay? There's a lot of trafficking that's going on here. You mark my words. There we are. What is going on? Okay, Mardalishlik babies, but for most of them, they just don't want this shart either. But of course, for most of them, they're all going to get tarred with the same brush, aren't they? You see what I mean, Mardalishlik babies? You know what I mean? So it's not just one. It's, so you could have one or two or three or four or five bad apples. And, you know what I mean? But then everybody then tarnishes all of the rest of them. When what all the rest of them are doing is just trying to get a job. There we are. And I have seen videos like this. They just want to, and they've sat down and talked to these larger uploaders. And all that they want to do is just, they're over here now. They're working all the hours. And for most of the time, they're not being paid a lot. And then they're getting a hurl of abuse. When all they're trying to do is just do their job. But you've got that small amount who just take it upon the damn selves to think they can do whatever the hell they like. And it's those who should be damn well giving the marching orders and straight back out. No question. So that's the end of my video, Mardalish babies. I tell you what, this is so addictive. This is sparkling water. So I put the sparkling water, Mardalish babies, up to about there. Then I top it up with orange juice. I tell you what, please and thank you. This is flipping delish. I'm on my second one already, Mardalish babies. I've had 2 cups of coffee and now I'm drinking my orange. And it's ever so refreshing. This one's the Highland Spring water and the Aldi orange juice. It's very nice, actually, Mardalish babies. There's not much difference between the Aldi orange juice and the Waitrose orange juice, Mardalish babies. There's not much difference at all. But this sort of reminds me of that Orangina drink, except for the Orangina drink, like decades ago. For some of you, you'll remember it, okay? It used to come in a little fancy bottle. It's just like a drink like this, but it was sweeter. But I do not like it too sweet. It's just like when I do my cakes. I did post two little short videos, my delicious baby. So I baked my cake. I called it Rocky Mountain. It was all cooked through properly, lovely. And then I, a little later on, then I posted another video to show you. So that's where the cake is cut. And then I put chocolate buttercream, and then I put fresh cream in it, and then with icing sugar on the top. So that was my square cake, rough and ready, you know what I mean? But I've always found my delicious babies that, the rough and ready cake. There we are. It's delish. Not just man, I'm not just banging my drum, you know what I mean? But I'm talking about, when I've tried other cakes, they may not look the poshest, but there we are. They taste delish. Do you know what I mean, my delicious babies? I made I'll have to post one of those. I made this morning. I was up early, and I made chocolate concrete. Do you remember chocolate concrete, my delicious baby? It only requires a sugar. So when it tells you like 200 and whatever gram sugar, I only put 100 and something in. Do you see what I mean? So it's not overly sweet. And then you put so much grams of cocoa in, and then so many grams of flour. My delicious babies. So I'm going through trying different flours at the moment. So at the moment I have got an Aldi one, but I've got a Waitrose one as well. What's it called? Liquid. It's called Liquid. It was £2.30. It's not bad actually. It's all right, my delicious babies. So I'm going through that stage at the moment. I do like to use the plain flour, the Waitrose plain, when I'm doing me, like my little chapatis. Because I've got the chapati flour, my delicious babies, but it just feels more heavier. That flour feels more heavier. Whereas when I'm using the Waitrose plain, you know what I mean? It's really nice because you still get like the bubbles, you know what I mean? And then what you do, as soon as you take it off the stove, then you just put lashings of butter on it. And then if you're making a curry, my delicious babies, you just dip it in. Good old fashioned way, you know what I mean? My delicious babies, it's banging. I just love it. I'm a liking. You know what I mean? I'm getting really into this flipping baking business, my delicious babies. I really, really am, But then what do they say? Practice makes it almost perfect. Do you know what I mean? My delicious babies. But I just enjoy it anyway. And I'm also, which I made the other day, I made, because I did a chocolate concrete the other day, and I made a real custard, so not out of the a tub or anything. I made the real custard. Okay, my delicious babies. So, yeah. And I got one of me lovely, not in that way, one of me lovely dear neighbours and friends across the way, and got them to try it. And they said, yes, they said it was really delish. Do you know what I mean? My delicious babies. So I'm doing the custard and everything for my beautiful dear little friend and neighbour there, my beautiful dear little friends and neighbours up the road. Do you know what I mean? Okay. It's good to get them to taste it. Do you know what I mean? But everybody remembers chocolate concrete. From when they was at school. I remember in school a slice of chocolate concrete, because and it just needs butter in it as well. So it's butter, cocoa, sugar, and flour. Okay, my delicious baby, so it doesn't require any eggs. But we used to buy it, and I remember how much it cost at school. 14 pence. Look at that, my delicious babies. 14 pence. But now, I mean, it's like, if you're going to make, I was watching ones the other day, when they're getting their shoppers, getting my shopping. And I was watching, like when you have a bit of a nose and you see what's in front of, on their conveyor belt. Do you know what I mean? And I was just having a look, and they were buying these, I'm pretty sure ones will remember this as well, a chocolate cornflake. Like the chocolate cornflake. We did these sell that at school as well. And all you do, it's so easy to do. You just melt the chocolate, put your desired amount. I mean, I know that, ones are not really one for cereals, because, there's a lot of, problems with some of the cereals. But anyway, the point of the matter is that this has been around for decades. So you just put your desired amount into the melted chocolate, just toss it around a bit, you know what I mean? And just put them in little cupcakes, those little paper, you know what I mean? And then just leave them just to set, or just, put them in the fridge or something, you know what I mean? And then you got that. But what they were doing is buying them, in these plastic packets, mad delicious babies. I'm pretty sure they probably cost a squid or something like this. I mean, you imagine how many, you know, imagine myself if I was to say use a 200-gram bar of chocolate. You have to get very good quality though. It's really difficult to get good quality chocolate these days. My delicious babies, it's very difficult to get good quality cocoa. It's just difficult to get flipping anything these days. My delicious babies, but anyway, we do try. We do try. I'm very trying sometimes, but yeah. Imagine 200 grams. How much I could get out of that? You know what I mean? And a box of cornflakes, or even if you had 400 gram, you know what I mean? Say if you were selling it on a little stall or something like this, and then, you know what I mean? You just bang them out, bang, 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 you know what I mean? So flipping easy. But for most, they'd rather just go and buy it, go and buy all these things, you know what I mean? But once you know how to make everything, well, it's half the battle, isn't it? There we are. It's half the battle, isn't it, my delicious babies, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So I'll have to post up my little shorty and my chocolate concrete. Everybody used to have a slice of chocolate concrete at school. I do not know anybody who never loved chocolate concrete. It's just chocolatey, but it's not. And I must stress this: any baking that I do, and anybody who I've spoken to who's been so kind enough to try my cakes, have all said, there we are, the same. And what did they say, my delicious babies? They said, what we really love about your cake is that it's not overly sweet. Because, like I said before, I do not put, the full, like that should have double the sugar in and it hasn't. Do you see what I mean? And it still tastes beautiful and chocolatey. Because you've got to remember that when you finished it and you leave it to cool off, you just, with a spoon, and then you just like sort of scatter a bit of sugar on top, you know what I mean? Okay. So that's got plenty sweet. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes. Got to be very careful when you're baking. This is why I say with these cakes and everything that you buy from the shop bought, I mean, they've got everything in them, haven't they? I mean, they're super duper sweet. Not to mention other things that they've got in it. Do you know what I mean? My delicious little babies. And I watched somebody last night just before I go. What's he called? Gary Eats. Not in that way, not in that way. Sometimes it comes up on my feed. And what was he tasting yesterday? Lidl's. He tasted the pizza. It was from the bakery part. And he goes round and he tries all different foods and everything. And he tried that. He tried the chocolate donuts. Anyway, he paid, how much was it? Nearly £14, but he was trying a bit of everything. And he actually said, these are really nice. There was only one that he found a little bit, because I said it before he did. I said, oh, I could tell by his bow trace. I thought, oh, I bet you thought that was rather sickly, like for the sweetness. And then that's when he said, it's a bit sickly. You know what I mean? Full of sugar. But I've tried the Lidl's myself when I used to do my parcels, you know what I mean? And say if I used to go in after I'd finished the parcel, sometimes occasionally I'd go in when I just loaded up and just quickly run in Lidl's, Mad Delicious Babies, if I just wanted to just get a bite to eat, do you know what I mean? I usually go to the little bakery part, get a little croissant or something like that now, then, if I really felt peckish. And then I'd just do that, my delicious babies. But the little bakery, I've got to be honest, there we are, it is rather delicious. It's very tasty. So he overall give it a really good review, my delicious babies, you know what I mean? But I've learned things now then for a long time. And the thing is not to keep buying the, what do they call them? The really expensive stuff. Buy things that are cheaper, not all the major expensive. Do you know what I mean? That's the best way that there we are that you learn. So because you have to remember that these companies, they took over these smaller ones where they used to care about what they used to do. Of course, when you've got massive companies, they couldn't give a damn. They're cutting corners every 5 seconds. You know what I mean? Mad little babies, and of course, what they're delivering shit to the mankind. Do you see what I mean? Okay, so it doesn't pay to buy the most expensive, it really doesn't. And even with the fashion industry, I seen another little video last night, but I never clicked on it. Anyway, I've talked about this whatever o'clock ago. They're not doing very well because there's more and more and more now. I suppose who'd rather walk around with a rip-off make than the real thing. So they're not doing very well either, marginalistic babies. I mean, you are going to have the super rich where they will obviously always buy the most expensive, okay? But some of the rip-off versions, marginalistic babies, there we are. And it's been proven they actually look better and they're made better than the flipping real thing now. Do you know what I mean? So they're not doing very well either, are the marginalistic babies anyway? So wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies. Sending peace, love, harmony, and bright blessings to each and every one of you. May your beautiful little selves and your beautiful little families, may you all be fully protected and how I love you so. You're super duper wonderful, super duper delicious. I love you, okay? And you just please take care of yourselves now, my delicious babies, and please try to take care of others because we are in a bonkers, crackers, and crazy world. The sun has got his hat on, hip hip hooray. It might look all warm, my delicious babies, but it's not as warm as and delicious as what you may spare a thought of. It's got a lot of dark clouds, so we may have some more rain today. What did I used to say? What's that little rhyme? Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. Okay, my delicious babies. Take care. Love ya. Thank you for listening. For any likes, for any views. Okay. I know that I go on. There we are. But I go on for good reason. Okay, my delicious babies. So I cannot say sorry for something that I'm not sorry for. Okay. I feel the need to say it. It's came out my trap. But there we are. And I'm done saying it. Okay. So lots of love. Take care. Goodbye.